One of the reasons why it's a long letter, he takes the time to go to every one of her podcasts and address virtually everything that she said about Israel and about Jews. I do want to share this specific portion here. Quote, the notion that people who criticize Israel essentially risk their lives is simply untrue, something that Candace has said multiple times. The internet is flooded with anti-Israel rhetoric. Academia is dominated by professors who are virulently anti-Israel. Has one individual been dealt with violently, let alone killed? A rhetorical question. Of course, the answer to that is no. Ironically, there is a group about whom expressing strong criticism means risking your life. Muslims. But you never mention that. You acknowledge that you don't talk about Islam, which is strange. If you care about mass killing, especially of Christians, the only group killing a large number of Christians today is Muslims. He says in his letter, as you saw there, it's strange that you won't talk about Islam, but you claim to be concerned about the mass killing of Christians. And where that's happening is in places like Nigeria, Sudan, Mauritania, where there's also slaves. That's happening in Syria. That's happening in Iraq. The Christians are being persecuted in Iran, not in Israel. It's not happening in Israel at all. There's freedom of religion in Israel, and the Christian population is growing in Israel. Whether the Jew haters and Israel haters on the right or the left, other than Jew hatred, anti-Semitism, Israel hatred, the whole anti-Zionist, other than having that clearly in common, there is also something they have indirectly in common, and that is covering for radical Islam. Candace, apparently, according to Dennis Prager's letter, has said she will not deal with Islam. Now, remember, hers is Christ is king. Oh, how Christians are being treated. I'm so concerned. She even said this. I'm Christian persecution, Christ is king. So Christians are being slaughtered by the thousands. Nigeria alone sees some 5,000 to 6,000 Christians killed per year. Silence about that. Silence about the Christians being enslaved and slaughtered in Sudan. Silence on the Christians in China. Silence on the Christians in Iran. Silence on the Christians in Pakistan. No, silence. Unlike the leftists who have no love for America, the ones on the right, like the Tucker Carlsons and the Candace Owens, claim to love America. Yet, isn't it amazing that not only do they not talk about Christians dying in the Islamic parts of the world, they also don't talk about the disinformation spewing forth from the billions of dollars like places like Qatar on our college campuses. They don't talk about the Hamas encampments. They don't talk about what the attacks of Jews on the campuses. They don't even talk about these Hamas supporters burning American flags. Nothing. They'll talk all kinds of nonsense about Israel. Tucker will even shill for Vladimir and Putin. Oh, these grocery stores. Oh, Russia has the best whatever. Idiot, right? But nothing about what's going on in our country when it comes to Muslim Brotherhood influence on our campuses, in our halls of justice, in our government. Nothing about any of those things. They don't address how our institutions have been captured by a red-green alliance. They'll give a nod to the communist part, which is the red part, but the green part, the Islamist part, nope. These right-wing Jew haters like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, their code of silence when it comes to radical Islam is as lock-clad as Ilhan Omar. It's as if they're reading from a similar playbook and will not deal with what is clearly a national security threat. They love America, but not enough to speak truth to power when it comes to the Muslim Brotherhood.
Truth to Power Live with Jimmy Study Washington.